Hey everybody, it's a new year, and according to the headlines, it's the best week since November. Does that mean it's time to start buying the market? Time to throw some money back into stocks and equities, or is the bear market still got some room to go? Find out in this market update for the weekend leading into Monday, January 16th, 2023. Let's go. Hello, everybody. It's Jeremy Whaley here from Trade Maestro. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic today. And welcome to a new market update, which is the first I've done for quite a while. Was not intentional. I kind of took some time off in December, and then I've been sick with some stuff the last couple of weeks. And so here we are. And halfway through January, we're finally getting these things ramped back up again. But anyway, we're going to do a little bit of market analysis here and do some market update for 2023 and specifically for what we see coming down the pike. As a quick reminder, if you haven't signed up for any of our challenges over at trademaestro.com, get over there, sign up for those. We got some new ones going on right now, and I've got some new ones that I'll be releasing in the next couple of weeks as well. So it's all free over at trademaestro.com. Let's get over here to the chart. Let's see what is going on. The first thing you're going to notice is I got a lot of lines on here. We're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I'll just kind of give you a little bit of an update here because, like I say, for those of you watching online, this has been it's been a while since I've done one of these updates. But essentially, this is where we are on the Dow. And you can see we've started to break some of the bearish trend lines that we've got in here. But what we have not done is we have not taken out these recent highs. And so that's really been the resistance point that we continue to see providing a solid resistance on the Dow Jones Industrial Average itself. And that seems to be a little bit of a ceiling that we're running into. Now, from a moving average standpoint, you can see I've put my new Maestro moving average module on here, which you can see very clearly. It makes it a lot easier to read these averages. And you're back above the averages, and the averages are green. So it's telling us that we're actually in a bullish trend for the Dow. Now, if that was the only information we had to work with, I would be rather bullish right now, just strictly from a technical standpoint. However, that is not the only information that we have to work with. It is true, and I've done a lot of updates talking about what would we need to see a market reversal. And it's true, we do have a higher high and a higher low now. And if we break this to the upside, then we'll have another higher high. And that would be a full-on confirmation. So if it was just the Dow, I would be pretty bullish right now. But it's not just the Dow in play. Take a look at the S&P 500. And what you're going to see on the S&P is kind of the exact opposite. We have not broken this bearish trend line. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 pushes into this bearish trend line, and it has held very, very strong all the way through. We do not have a series of higher highs and higher lows. We do have a high and we have a higher low. If we were to break out to the upside, then maybe we could call it a breakout, but we do not have that at this point. And if it was just this picture right here, what I have to say is the odds are in favor actually of this bearish trend continuing here on the S&P. So from a short-term standpoint, that's kind of what I'm looking at. The Dow gives us a little bit of an angle towards the bullish side. The S&P is much more on the bearish side. We're not quite at the lows where we were in October, which was way down here. But we are still, remarkably lower than we were at the beginning of 2022. And even though we've had a little bit of a bullish trading week here and kind of a little bit of an uptick to the start of the year, which you can see right here where I just drew on the chart, a little bit of an uptick, but nothing substantial. I mean, that's not anything that says, hey, look, we're ripping and roaring. So if we do break out above this trend line, our next target's going to be around 4,100 on the S&P 500. That's what you will get your eyes on. And if we get there and we break out to the upside, then it's a different story, and we'll be talking about it from there. But for now, I'm actually still pretty bearish on the S&P. One of the reasons for that is because of what the NASDAQ has done and continues to do. Here's a picture of the NASDAQ, and you can see my trend line on this one. Again, it has absolutely not broken to the upside. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches now on that bearish trend line. It has maintained extremely strong, continuing to push and make lower lows and lower highs. And if we were to roll lower from where we are right now, we would just confirm one more lower high, which confirms the bearish trend. Now, if there's anything that could be bullish about the NASDAQ, it is the fact that we've actually started to put in some new support here at 10,250 roughly. And we've had 2 touches on that now. I'm very curious what's going to happen in the upcoming future here as far as hitting that support and then breaking to the downside. If we can break to the downside of that, then our next target is going to be around 97.50 on the NASDAQ. That's going to be really your most important level to be watching. But you can see very clearly the S&P and the NASDAQ are anything but bullish. What we have is we have a bearish trend that has bounced a little bit. And even though there was a big headline today that was saying it was the most bullish week since November, that doesn't mean anything. What they're not telling you is the NASDAQ in particular is down almost 36%. It keeps fluctuating a little bit here, but 35, 36% from where we were at the highs. If I come back over here, our highs in November of 2021. So kind of have to look at this in the big picture because that was the full trend there. But November 2021 to the lows that we had just a week ago, we're down 35, 36%. And they're not talking about that. All they want to do is say, oh, look, compared to last week, we were up a little bit this week. Whoop-de-doo. Because what they're not doing is telling you the full story here. So I do think there's some more downside potential for all of these indices. It's hard to say exactly which one's going to win right now. Let me also show you the Russell, because the Russell is confirming this bearish trend more so as well. And that's why I'm not giving a whole lot of weight to the Dow. But what we do see happening, both in the Russell and potentially on the Dow, is we do see the potential that we're starting to put in some sort of an accumulation period. This looks a lot more like what we would call a channel on the Russell 2000. And, that could be, doesn't mean it's going to be, but it could be starting to form some sort of a foundation, some sort of a base. So, if we were to put in a solid base, if we were to stop the falling downward pressure, then yes, there's a definite possibility that we can have some higher moves towards the end of towards the middle of the summer and the end of the year. I think there's still some bearishness that could easily play out, and it's a little bit too early to completely make that forecast at this point. But, that's pretty much where we are. The bear trend has not reversed at this point. We're seeing some possibilities of a slowdown, possibly maybe some early reversal signals in the Dow, but we do not have a reversal to the bear market. Bear market is still roaring, and it's a little bit scary for a lot of people. Let's take a look really quick over here at gold and silver, and I'm going to look on the ETFs. This is a pretty big story actually that's been taking place on gold. We have busted out of all of our trade setups that we had on gold. If you were following some of these trades, we started doing bullish trades on gold back here at 161 on the ETF. We had another entry here at 163. Our main target was at 174. And this week we have blown straight past that. Our next target on gold is at 186 on the ETF. So that is a trend that is well formed and is well on the way. But before you go thinking to yourself, oh, it's time to go buy gold, well, number one, we've already moved quite a bit here. Let me see if I can pull up our stochastic, and you're going to see just how overbought we really are. We are really in a prime spot to see this trend take a break. I'm not saying it's going to reverse. I'm saying we're in a prime spot for it to start slowing down and taking a break. It may be that we get on up to that next target around 180, 184, 186. It may be that we get up here, or it may be that we kind of hang out for just a little bit before we continue that trend. If you look over here to the left, you can see right about where we are, there is some pivot action that took place right in there quite a while back. And so that definitely could be a hang up for us in the short term. I think in the midterm, I think we will get on up to that extra target, and then we'll see what happens in terms of the price action once we get there. And then the story on silver is very similar. Silver, it has broken out really nicely over the last month and a half or so, and we're about halfway to our target. Our main target on silver is at $24. Roughly $24.10 or so. But today, and I say today because I'm recording this on Friday, So as we ended the week here, not only did we end on an uptick, but we re-triggered that trade, new entry at 22.18 with a move up to about $24. So we're definitely got some good movement happening with silver and gold. And if you look at your stochastics down here, that's a nice continuation signal starting to pick up there as well. So definitely got some good movement happening there. There was also some pretty big movement that's been happening on Bitcoin lately. Since I haven't been updating you guys, we'll talk about this one briefly. We put in a pretty good base is what it's looking like right now. And the last 2 trading sessions, we've had a big break above this pivot area. I need to redo this chart, and maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But you can just see 2 really big candles back to back. Your next pivot on that's going to be around 21,000 on Bitcoin. And I hope this is it. I hope this is the new foundation. Like I say, I'll do a separate video where I go through and do some actual analysis, in-depth analysis on Bitcoin, and we rechart this and kind of update some stuff. But that's where we are on that. So maybe, quite possibly, we've got some foundation that's being put in here on Bitcoin. And then when you take a look at Ethereum, it is following suit. We have not broken out bigly, but we did get a big move at least. And we're kind of at those major breakout pivot points there on Ethereum. And then same thing is happening with XRP. Look at the XRP move. We're back above the averages here. We're starting to get some moving average crosses. We had XRP way down here in the low 30s. 31, 32 cent range at one point. And then same thing with XLM, Stellar Lumen. This is another one that is starting to break out and starting to move really big. We were down here at 7 cents. We've not had full-on confirmation of the trend reversal, but definitely getting some setup. So I think probably in the next week or so, I'll do some crypto updates and get you guys some updates on that you can reference as well. All right, folks, that's all I've got for today. I hope that's helpful for you, at least kind of gives you a little bit of a forecast of what's going on. And my plan is to do a couple of these a week. The intention is to release them over the weekend, and then I'll probably do one midweek around Wednesday. So you guys can subscribe to the channel so you can make sure you can get all of those updates. And as I said, I've got some new challenges coming out. So be sure to like and subscribe and keep your eyes open for the challenges. And check us out over at TradeMaestro.com so you can keep up to date on everything we're doing. All right, thanks a lot for watching and happy trading. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.